Bright and early on this very cold Wednesday morning for some more rezero. I say it before, but Wednesday's literally the worst day for me to record. So it's very unfortunate that, my favorite series has to unfortunately fall on that day. And potentially also due to my own, poor time management prohibits the amount of time that I'm going to have for lengthy discussions that I would preferably like to have and take my time with the pacing on it. So we play it out and we see, but we haven't really run into too many issues thus far with the series, so I'm doing a good enough job, I guess you could say. We continue as the battle was fully in effect now, with everybody seemingly having to met their matchup face to face, and things are going to get really interesting, I think, going forward here. Last episode had some translation issues and stuff that I saw through Twitter. Some people making note of, with one of them potentially implying the death of Joshua through Lie or Roy, one of the two, but I guess they share things, so it probably doesn't matter. But through the way that he was like mimicking and almost speaking on people in the same way that he was doing like a similar thing in Talk to Subaru as a way of like being Rem or something, things that I didn't really even pick up on, which didn't feel too obvious through the way that they translated them exactly. There's another one too. I can't remember what it was though. I think it was pretty important, but it'll click if it comes up and becomes relevant. I think as time is approaching a little bit here. So overall, though, I'm very just excited to see what they plan to get us into and what kind of battles that we have to go through. The one thing I really am excited for, though, is the fact that we sent Al back so that he could watch over and, protect and be of use to Krush and be of use to the others who were staying kind of behind, Anastasia and all them as well. So there is potential that he's here and he's going to single-handedly be able to take on Capella here, which will be like a really entertaining if that happens, because I really just want to see what he's capable of. Because he's so like a mystery, and every time he speaks or says something, he just becomes more suspicious. And also, I would love to see that. But I guess we also don't have to set it up that way. Maybe like somehow Krush summons power from something, or somebody's able to like rush back and help her. But I'm curious to see how these other battles all go, and about the pacing too, as we talked about in the last episode. Of like, do they plan to just kind of like keep snapping between everybody to keep you up in real time with where we are? Are we going to really like flesh out and extend certain scenes and fights that we need to? Where are we planning to go with that? I am really curious. I think they'll strike a healthy balance. If I had to make a guess, I think that they'll continue to do what they did in the previous episode, but when moments become like a lot more serious and have like focus that need to be told within like storytelling purposes, I don't think they're going to interrupt them in the middle of occurring, and I think they'll let them play out as they probably should. I think that would be the proper way to write this. But was it written that way? And also, if it wasn't, did the anime change it that way? If it was written that way, will the anime kind of just keep it going and actually do that, or will it alter things to be a bit more beneficial too? So we got to see, because sometimes they like to do their own little thing. But I'm excited. Hopefully you are as well. If you like it all, like and subscribe. Then also feel free to stick around for the discussion when it comes to this sort of series. We'll go with the 10th episode of season 3 of rezero. What are you gonna be able to do, Felix? Interesting that she makes note of that, though. She's so tiny. I didn't even realize that. That's more like it. Okay. Did she take the curse form yet? She's just tired with the... Alright. It's gonna be fun to see all the forms she takes. I'm the one who just does it. Excuse me? What the fuck? Yeah, but how did you do this? Who gave you this power? You just had the wig, right?
分かってたって言うたやろ。
She's always got a plan. So she's stronger than I thought. Okay. No, she wasn't capable of anything. Ah, fun. There we go, Al. Come on, brother. You stop here. What do you mean by before I die? I was supposed to say before you die? Or did he mean something by that? I like how all these sequences take place during the day when we know it's not anymore. So unless it's like indicating that this goes all night until the point that we come in the morning, then none of these sequences actually like really take place, which is pretty fun. Well, I don't got another strategy, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Send them into orbit. I'm gonna freeze them in the water. She looks so cool doing that. Holy fuck. It's the biggest icicle. Can we freeze him in it? Oh, beautiful. How many plans they think of? I can't draw this sword for battle, but I shall use it for protection. I don't know about that. Oh. You see, there's no scars on me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're coming from her. What a face. Where's he going? Okay. I like his way of thinking. Holy fuck. Oh, fun. It's just a natural. Look at him. In reality, you're nothing like him. It's so fun. Wait, what? Hit him in the neck. I'm literally not your bride. That's the point. He doesn't want to. Mr. Perfect, come on. How many did you think of? I like how it's not just like A through Z. There he has multiple within each letter. Welcome back, brother. Clear a path. I like how he just picks up the fucking one. What do you think? Kill him a kind.
どんなことまず少女それかどうか聞かれて奥さんたちを番号で呼んでてそれを悪い王様みたいって言ったらあの子は小さな王様小さな王って
Who's got a small dick is that way? Oh, that's not.
全部俺が知ってる星の名前なんだ。レグルスはラテン語で小さな王の時なんだけど、あいつの手は熱かったか、それとも冷たかったか。
熱くも冷たくもまるで何にもないものに触られてたみたいに。
Versus a shell.
ラインハルト、そいつの心臓が動いてるか確かめてくれ。
You can't really do anything if it's not real. Priscilla looks so confident. But Priscilla's not affected. So she has to do something to allow Liliana to not be hurt while doing that. Okay. Magnificent. Two huge Priscilla debuts 2 weeks in a row. My God. So what was the problem? Yeah, you're gonna do that to all of them? You have to do something to isolate her, but... There's one girl will have to do. Have some fun. Utilize her singing for this, cool.
私は魔女教滞在司教フンド担当シリウス・ロマネ・コンティ不変の愛であなたを包みましょうこの試練を乗り越えた時私はあなたの愛に焼かれるでしょう
Sure.
やってりますよリリアのマスカラ
Great, Liliana.
一世一代の大舞台だ
Ah.
あらあらあら、まあまあまあ、こんなに固くなな方は初めてですよ。あなたの心をこんなにも固く閉ざしたのは一体何が原因なのでしょう。貴
Mm.
様にわらわの胸の内を明かすなど弱みを見せないことが強くあることだと思い違いしていませんか。他者とつながり合い寄り添うことで初めて見える頂もあるのです。よくもまあ臆面もなくペラペラと妄想を。ではこんな思考はいかが。アイリスとイバラの王。
Uh-oh.
確かめてくれ。
よそ見とはいただけないね。どうやらスバルの推測は正しかったらしい。
Yeah, you feel nothing. Yeah, you got him.
空に落ちる気分を味わったことは。
I was wondering why he like hit him and then he didn't like push him back or like do anything and he just stood there.
正しい。彼の心臓は動いていない。
Look at him.
すまない。少し戻るのに。
Send him to the stars. So now what the fuck do we do?
どう戦うの
エミリアだ。耳貸して。
ちゃんと返してね
今確実に詰められてるんだぜ。はあ、聞かせてやるよ。お前には聞く権利がある。ほら好きだろ権利。僕に聞く権利？ああ、なんせ自分がどうやって負けるのか知らないで負けたら悔しくって。
It would violate his right to hear.
お前勝つよ。あいつに吠え面書かせてね。その後もう一回お姫様抱っこさせて。
バカ
レグルス、俺はお前の剣能の正体を知ってるぞ。
面白いこと言うじゃないか。79番はどこへやった？
With who?
79番だ。さっきまで君が持っていこうとしてる。
うわ、本気で奥さん番号で呼んでる事実にドン引きだわ。
ってみないよ。いや、君みたいな人間の言葉信じる価値はないけどさ。僕は自信。
Sure, sure.
どうした？話さないの？それとも話せないのかな？
He's just dragging it out. Just gotta get Amelia in position right now.
剣能の正体、それはゲームプレイ中のスタートボタンってやつだ。
What do you mean by that?
肉体の時間を止める獅子の心臓、そう言い換えてもいいぜ。
Mmm.
答え合わせはなあ、その顔を見りゃ十分だな。
ティレオスのバラクシ曲がりそうな弾頭だ。
I don't know what any of these things are. I'm gonna have to.
がよい。
What a fun episode. It was like kind of goofy all around. For being honest, especially the Regulus fight, but like I feel like that fits the nature of what they're going for, you know? I have my feelings on maybe not loving the over the top nature of like the facial like expressions and everything that they kind of go into, especially with those characters, Subaru and Regulus, that kind of being, but at the same time it's fitting, so it's not like I'm like against it. It's more of just, I don't know, I have preferences and things that I don't know if that necessarily fits, but I do think like the general idea of like we're gonna throw everything we got at this dude and we're just gonna like completely like try and mock him and just like make like the most of this to get to the bottom of what exactly this is, like involves you kind of having to be a little goofy and try and like do the most like insane things that you can kind of think of, so it makes itself work. But on top of just like all the fight sequences, all the interactions, all those things in it just being like extremely fun. The animation was probably some of, if not the strongest we've seen throughout ReZero up to this point. On top of us actually having a lot of intriguing and potential theory crafting things that can come into this in regards to figuring out the ability of Regulus and potentially a variety of others and some other things that I'll talk about as well. That stuff, I will preface this by saying I'm not going to go into very deep at all. I'm not even going to look into like the stars and the names and try and figure all that stuff out. I do think if the story itself is telling itself in a proper manner, it shouldn't rely on you having external knowledge to realistically like get it. But I do think with that knowledge, you can appreciate it stronger. So I personally do plan to not really look into that stuff and utilize that as something I'll do after the season ends, and then actually like maybe have an appreciation when I go back for a rewatch. So I just want to lay that out. Also, because while looking into these things, you do have a risk of potentially spoiling yourself on, you know, good things that can happen, and also learning things more about the series and stuff. I did try, right before I did this, I did try and look up one of the things that Sirius did say to Priscilla, and immediately I got like a discussion thread about a side story in ReZero. So it's like, all those things are probably relevant to the universe and the world itself in some sort of way that has stories and things written about it that I have no knowledge of due to not consuming that. So I'd rather just not even look it up and try and begin to get like anything spoiled for me and potential content that's still out there yet to be either animated or yet to be read by me. So we're going to avoid most of that stuff. So a lot of the things that I can kind of propose on that will be just non-existent, which I apologize if you are looking for somebody to do that. I'm sure there's plenty of channels who will take a long time and really go into that and really dive into that. And I would absolutely love to do that. But I do think that the experience and the telling of this story is something that shouldn't necessarily rely on those other things to give you the experience that you need. So I'm gonna just kind of put my trust in everything will work itself out, and if it doesn't and I ruined my own experience, I apologize, but then I'll appreciate it more on the second rewatch anyway. So it's okay regardless. I do think I want to say the most intriguing thing potentially to me that comes to my mind is the general idea of the stars and the naming sense that we're utilizing for this. Well, that's been realistically apparent up to this point, and I think even early into it when we introduced Roy, I looked it up and found out about that as well, and having, you know, knowledge of some of the other stars and stuff too, it made sense that we were headed down some sort of path like this, but I didn't really know what to think of it. In this episode, I think it clicks in a way that makes me really question, with the knowledge of who Al is, and also having the general idea of Subaru and his own suspicions when coming to Pristella, that like there are other people within this world who have come from his own world, and who those people are, why that actually happened, what they are all capable of, are really intriguing questions and things that I really would like to, you know, figure out, which aren't things I don't think I can realistically get, but it is more so just wanting to propose the general idea that whoever is behind, I think, a majority of these things when it comes to like the creation and giving of abilities of this, behind the witch's cult, behind, I don't know if it's somebody in overseeing everything, or if it's like Pandora herself, or if it's like somebody is out there that is controlling this, likely coming directly from his own world, right? Like I think that's where we're headed with this, which is a really intriguing thing to think about, that it doesn't even come down to like he's not like a one and infinite, right? Like it's literally he's not the only guy. There's people out there who have really special abilities, who are extremely strong and are extremely like important and relevant within this universe. Well, like Al could be that, but we just haven't seen it yet, so we don't know. There are others on the outside who potentially could be that too, which will be interesting to figure out. The suspicion on Al gets raised a little bit because like I doubt that he would be here fighting them if he was like, you know, controlling them or has any of this sort of stuff. And I'm assuming it's things that is like predates all of that anyways. But I do like the idea that it potentially could be something along those lines that we essentially end up going down. I think I want to skip through the episode because each scene does have a decent amount that I'd like to talk on. This scene's great. I love the overall voice actress work from Felix's voice actress. I love the facial expressions that he gives off. I think that they're extremely strong. And then the lack of being willing to waver when it directly comes to seeing Krush like being taken in the form of Capella here, I think is really strong too. I love this. It's like intimidating, like walking up to you almost feels like real, like massive, larger than life type of thing, and then she gets up here and it's just completely not the case, which is really funny. She's very expressive too, and I love it. Like these are great expressions from Felix, which I love, in willing to still go through and do this regardless, and then still seeing Krush have to take on this form and not being able to back down or anything till we get a very pleasant surprise. Also, this very much fits Capella's character of not wanting to like directly kill. Typically, it's like a thing that gets annoying. Sometimes it's like these people are supposed to be like the pure thing of evil, and all they want to do is just like torture people or like give them a chance to like have like a certain type of death as opposed to just like killing them on sight or something like you would almost expect here. It's like, why is there hesitation or something? But realistically, like her cocky kind of attitude and the way that she likes to like overly express herself and the things that she likes to do and find joy in seeing these people kind of like suffer and everything kind of makes sense to me. Anastasia pulling a fucking fast one on us and doing this is crazy to me. I don't know where the hell they kept Krush, but and then having the trap and everything set and being a little bit more useful with her own abilities too is really fun. And then we bring Al, and I love this too. I love the disguise of we're utilizing Al, somebody who hides himself behind a mask. We're utilizing Anastasia, who is putting herself in like the appearance of somebody else, right? We are masking all these people and doing things that Capella does, right? She takes on the different forms, and she's the one who does that. But she absolutely hates the people who like only love people for that form and not the like pure version of themselves or anything like that too. So those who have to like hide that behind something as well is like things that she absolutely does not want to have to go against. So putting them as the ones that she's fighting against here will be fun. Al, I'm very excited to see what he is capable of and what he does here. This line's really just weird to me. I don't know if it's like funny in the sense that like before like I go fucking all out and I do something that causes, you know, both of us to die, you better leave, or if it's more on like the end of like they just mistranslated it, supposed to say like get out of here before you die or something. Like I don't know. I feel like that actually might not be the case and he's just saying something that's a little weird, but here we go. This is fun. The expressions overall are great. I love just hitting him with anything that you have, and then utilizing this and getting to see Amelia fight is really fun too. It's something that I've been wanting to see more and more of, so it's been great to get that this season because she seems to be capable of so many cool things, and ice magic and things are just really fun to watch. And in general, like this is beautiful. Absolutely love that. Just the different things that we take on and we try and do are so entertaining. I love using the sword as like something to kind of block us as well. Love how Amelia yells at him and yaps back with him too. I was wondering here, what are you staring at here? What are you looking at? Why did we frame it that certain way? Take care of your wives better. And telling him she hates him is a huge like big for her. That's not something she does. You know, she forgives fucking everybody. She didn't even hate, you know, Kidda. She didn't even hate like any of these people that she's run into. So the fact that willingly saying that to somebody's kind of crazy. She's like the purest of them all. You would never assume that. And I like how like we get this moment where they have this conversation and it's like, why would Regulus just leave and let them do that? Oh, well, he's doing this instead. And able to pick this up is kind of crazy. The effects that they utilize on this for like the CG and everything is interesting. It's not like the greatest thing I've ever seen, right? But it doesn't look bad, and I think it fits the nature because sometimes it looks a little like goofy or like doesn't look as in place as it should be. It looks fine in the shot, but some of them were like a little weird. But I think it just works because the fight overall, like up to this point, was a little out there anyway. So like it worked. I think it's just fitting overall. And I love that he just keeps picking up like these massive things and attacking them with this. The ice skating is so fucking cool. I love it. It's great too to get another scene like this similar to the one that we ended up having in Frozen Bonds. I also love Subaru having like as many plans as he does too. Like this shot's crazy. What are you doing with all that, Amelia? My goodness. I will never be your bride. I love how we put this together and he's so arrogant he can't even stop. Funny dude. Reinhardt comes back just in the right time, but unfortunately at some point gets sent to fucking orbit, which isn't great. Asking these questions, his reaction to the Virgin comment's funny. But the entire fight is just stapled around, we're finding and getting to the bottom of Regulus, right? We are trying to figure out what exactly it is, why he's not taking damage, why he's not getting hit. Overall, it comes down to what Subaru is able to deduct through his own, you know, understanding of the stars and everything too, from his own world, that he's able to put this together. And he did, I'm pretty sure, display like his general interest and intrigue in all these things in Memory Snow, I think he did. Correct me if I'm wrong, Memory Snow, I believe. So this is fitting, of course, for his character anyway, so it ends up working as like a convenient point, because they did reference it extremely early on too, which I like. And also him being named after one, you know, that brings everything kind of together, as well as a nice little thing to have while you have these others involved. So I think that's pretty cool. But utilizing all the things that they have to their knowledge to this point to figure out exactly who he is and what he's capable of and what he's doing, which then, you know, resorts to, this is what this means, this is what this means and stuff. And when he started putting it all together and he was like doing all this, and then he was like, yeah, his wife, he gets mad when like his wife's like would like say something, or like they would refer to him in a certain way, and I had just assumed when he said that he was like fucking nervous and bringing up like the virgin comment and all that stuff, I assumed he was getting at the point that he has like a small dick or something. Like, that was the thing that hurt him. I don't know why, but definitely wasn't the comment that he was going for. Overall, though, he ends up coming to the conclusion that Regulus has an ability to kind of stop the time of his body, but whatever that means, which I would simply just assume it's like similar to like one of those things where he can get hit, but if he stops it like in time, if that makes sense. Like, so it's one of those things where like usually you can't hit him, as we've seen that displayed at multiple points before. And while he's physically getting hit now, he still has the ability to stop that at a certain point, that he doesn't physically take any damage, but the momentum and the things that happen still have that effect directly on him. And all of that stuff happens to the point that, you know, of course he's going to get like flung around and everything too, but he can't take physical damage. So we have to figure out something. Like, I don't know, I don't have like a good idea or read on exactly what we use, because it's one of those things that the utilization of like his Reinhardt sword in the situation wouldn't have even worked based on like what this is. You'd assume, at least, right? Just based on the nature of Regulus. So we have to utilize some sort of like external factor in some sort of way, and I don't have a strong read for what we could do to cause this to actually happen, because that tracks with everything too, right? We later find out, of course, by getting Reinhardt to get in there, that that's in the later scene, but find out later that he doesn't have his heart or anything like that, right? There's no beat going on there. So I don't know if it's just simply the time stops, so that's it, or it's missing. But even if that is the case, we could play like with the heart feeling a certain sort of way, or allowing you to like feel these emotions and these things that you do, right? That's kind of like always what you perceive it to be in a way. So the way he treats his wives and the way that he like views things so like coldly, or like he views things almost from like a sense that like only makes sense like in your own head, but isn't like a emotion or feeling or something that you can really end up getting, would make a lot of sense in how he ends up treating all these other people. This fight's really entertaining, and I love how we get rewarded with this wonderful fucking treat, and also the other scene from the previous episode. Priscilla's on another one this season. Liliana's reaction is fully acceptable up to this point. He sends Liliana to go distract them in some sort of way. I love when Liliana has to pump herself up for it, and this fight sequence is just super enjoyable and fun to end up seeing. But she brings up some names of something, and she also brings up a really intriguing idea, just the general idea of she openly is like displaying her heart and everything, whereas you have somebody like Priscilla who has it closed off, which could make perfect sense as to why she can't actually like get in and control her mind or anything, because of how like closed off this version of herself is. So now she's evoking some sort of emotion and thing that could potentially like consume her. It could potentially be bad, which also causes her into like these rash decisions that she does towards the end that could not be too great. Forces her to take that blow by bringing up the name of Iris and the Thorn King, whatever that's supposed to mean, whether it has some sort of relation to herself, or whether it has some sort of relation to her family, or her just general like outlook on life, and maybe it's just a story or something, and hearing it has kind of like altered her view on a sort of thing, you know, it's impacted her in that sort of way. I'm not entirely sure, but I am curious to see where that goes, and especially where all this knowledge and the things that Sirius is kind of pulling from is coming. I like how we just sent Reinhardt into fucking orbit for fun, just Why not? But he's figured it out. He's overly cocky. He starts utilizing some of Regulus's own catchphrases and stuff in his way of speaking, which is great. Cutting him off in the middle of the things that he's saying. I don't want to violate your right to listen or hear, so give me the chance to do it. Pressing start in the middle of playing a game. So he's saying, okay, that makes sense now. I was confused at first. So it's literally like as you're about to get hit, you get like paused and then you can't, and it gives you like that second to like process everything that's kind of occurring around you. And we're going to refer to it as Lionheart, the ability to make one's own body stop. And judging by his reaction, of course, seemingly is correct. We get a ED scene too, where we display even more info. Liliana hears some of it too, and it causes a attack on Priscilla, which isn't great. I'm interested to see where we go. I would have liked to gone into, I think, things a little bit more, but also my own fear of like spoilers and stuff are coming from it. And also I think I would have liked to like sit on some more things, because it's last week this happened where like I finished it and then the episode like had like when I was editing, I had so many more ideas that I'm like, damn, I didn't even speak on that or something. So I kind of wish maybe I do that this week. Maybe I'll come back, but maybe not at the same time. But I do like the idea also of just letting things kind of breathe a little bit and waiting till we go into the next one. But there are a lot of intriguing like little moments and things that can come into this, and a lot of character stuff that's been built up to this point that like makes a lot more sense, I feel like, now than it previously has. And also just like the intriguing matchups and the things that we're putting of like the parallels kind of between each other, or just like the not parallels, but I guess but the differences kind of between with like Capella, and the masking and stuff, and then also having like Priscilla and Sirius with the closed hearts and stuff. So hopefully next week we get to see Otto and Felt and everybody come back in that, and Julius and stuff. All those fights were skipped over or just not included within this one, but that's plenty okay right now. They have to pace it in some sort of way without cramming too much in, so we will let that all end up playing itself out. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a blast. I thought it was just a really entertaining and fun episode overall, one of the better ones of the season, of course. Hope you guys enjoyed though. If you like it all, like and subscribe on to me. Feel free to check the video channel and comments of this sort of series. We'll be back for episode 11 next week. It was a great one. Peace.